UFOs, cryptids, ghosts, black-eyed children, possible time slips. Where could the place be where you can find all of this phenomena together? At Cannock Chase, that's where. Welcome to the Penwood Studio Unexplained and Folklore Plus podcast. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it.
All right, let's dive in. Today, all right, so get this. We're diving deep into Cannock Chase today.
Cannock Chase.
Cannock Chase.
Close enough.
Ancient history.
Oh, yeah.
Modern paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
Provide.
Right.
We're going to look at, could these spooky events be connected to the ancient past of this forest?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really interesting idea, right? I mean, we're talking about a place that people have been living in and changing for thousands of years.
Right.
So many different eras.
Yeah.
From the Iron Age to medieval times.
Right.
And even like 20th century military stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not just like a quiet little forest. Right?
No, not at all.
It's like Cannock Chase, it's known for paranormal activity.
Oh, really?
We've got like black-eyed children.
Oh, wow.
Phantom soldiers, even possible Bigfoot sightings.
Bigfoot in England?
Yeah, well, there's reports, right?
That's crazy.
And UFOs, too.
Wow.
So we've got a lot to work with. We've got historical records. We've got, accounts from paranormal investigators, even council documents. So let's see what we can make of it, right?
Yeah, let's try to unpack all of this.
Okay, so starting with the history, right?
Okay.
The Chase was a royal hunting forest.
Wow.
Back in medieval times, like kings and nobles would go there.
So already sounds like a good setting for a ghost story, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Like grand processions, hunts, maybe even like, secrets lost to time.
Right, exactly.
And then you add in the Industrial Revolution, like another layer on top of that.
Okay.
All these coal mines and quarries popping up, changing the landscape.
Yeah, you wonder, like, what was disturbed
Right.
underneath all that.
Exactly.
And on top of that,
yeah.
you have 2 world wars
Oh, right.
that left their mark. It was home to training camps, hospitals, even prisoner of war camps.
So, like, imagine the
Right.
emotions, the energy, like, soaked into the ground.
Yeah, the echoes of conflict and suffering,
Right.
just embedded in the very soil.
It's like, we're not just talking about ghosts.
No.
It's like all sorts of energetic imprints.
Right, like layers on top of layers.
Yeah, like a paranormal palimpsest.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that's a great way to put it.
We've got this ancient landscape
Okay.
layered with all this history.
Yeah.
And right at the heart of it, we've got
That's at the heart of it.
Castle Ring.
Castle Ring.
This Iron Age hill fort,
Oh, wow.
over 2,000 years old,
That's all.
built by the Cornovi tribe.
Okay.
This wasn't just like a fort, right?
Right.
It's thought to have been a place of ceremony,
Oh, interesting.
maybe a symbol of power, even a site for rituals.
That's fascinating.
And the thing is,
Yeah.
these ancient places,
Yeah.
with all that history and like human intention,
Right.
they often become these like paranormal hotspots,
That's true.
right?
Yeah, you see that a lot.
Makes you wonder, is it the energy from those ancient rituals still hanging around?
Yeah, like resonating with us today.
Right.
Could be.
It's something to think about.
It is.
And, it's not just how old Castle Ring is.
Okay.
It's also the fact that it was changed later on.
Oh, how so?
Well, in the 18th century, they did some landscaping.
Correct.
They reshaped some of the terrain,
Interesting.
even leveled a part of the inner rampart to make a walkway. It's like they might have like accidentally disrupted something
Yeah.
ancient and powerful, like opening a door to the unseen world.
Yeah, like they woke something up.
Exactly. So we've got this ancient landscape full of history,
Right.
and at its heart, Castle Ring may be acting as this this energetic epicenter.
Okay. I like that.
Now let's get into what people are actually experiencing there.
All right, let's hear it.
And let's start with the one that really gives me the creeps. The black-eyed children.
Black-eyed children. Oh, I've heard about these.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty creepy.
Right.
The stories are really chilling.
Yeah, and what's strange is how similar the accounts are.
Right.
Like, people describe seeing these children
Okay.
often looking lost or upset. But the freaky thing is, their eyes.
Their eyes, what?
They're completely black, no white, no iris.
Oh, wow.
It's like looking into, an abyss.
That's unsettling.
And it's not just like one-off events.
Oh,
These encounters seem to happen around specific places,
like where?
like near that old cemetery.
Really?
There's this couple camping in Birches Valley back in 2021.
Okay.
They said they heard this creepy giggling outside their tent at night.
Oh, no.
And when they looked out,
Yeah.
they saw this young girl with pitch black eyes moving all jerky and unnatural.
Oh, that's creepy.
And then the next morning,
Yeah.
they found these strange arrangements of stones and sticks around their tent, like someone had done some kind of ritual.
That's so strange.
And there's another story from 2019.
Okay.
A girl chased after a black-eyed child near Castle Ring
Oh.
and almost fell off this cliff.
Oh, wow.
There's something about these encounters
Yeah.
that just taps into this primal fear, you know?
I know what you mean.
It's not your average ghost story.
No, it's something else.
Right. It makes you wonder, what are these things?
Yeah, what are they?
Are they spirits, interdimensional beings, or something else entirely?
And could they be connected to the ancient history of the area?
Exactly, like drawn to the energy of Castle Ring.
Yeah, or maybe the emotional turmoil.
It's all connected somehow.
Yeah.
So many questions
Yeah.
and not a lot of answers.
It's a mystery.
Not something you'd like to encounter.
Exactly.
There's so much to consider.
I know, right?
And the black-eyed children are just one element of many at Cannock Chase.
I'm intrigued. What else is there?
Well, how about the pigman?
Pigman.
Yeah, now that's one creature I wouldn't want to run into in the woods.
I can imagine. What's the pigman?
It's described as having the head of a pig
Okay.
and the body of a man.
Oh, that's pretty disturbing.
They're nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Some people think it could be like a government experiment gone wrong.
Right, considering the military history of the area.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
But then there are those who see it as something more,
Yeah.
you know,
Like what?
like primal, like a manifestation of ancient fears.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or maybe even a creature connected to like the dark side of nature.
That's creepy.
It's interesting, right? How
Yeah.
these creatures often seem to like embody both modern anxieties
Yeah,
and these ancient archetypes.
that's true.
It's like they're tapping into something deeper within us.
Yeah, our collective unconscious, maybe?
Right.
It's a fascinating idea.
And speaking of tapping into something deeper,
Yeah.
we can't forget about the UFO sightings.
UFOs.
Oh yeah, reports going back to at least the late 90s.
Wow.
Everything from strange lights
Yeah.
to metallic craft hovering above the trees.
Could it be that Cannock Chase is attracting visitors from other worlds?
Maybe, right? If we're thinking about portals
Yeah.
and interdimensional gateways,
Yeah.
it kind of fits. And get this,
What?
there's even been reports of Slender Man sightings.
Slender Man.
Yeah, that internet legend.
That's crazy.
It's weird, right?
It is?
How something born online
Yeah.
ends up connected to this ancient landscape.
Right, it makes you think about the power of belief
Yeah.
and how it might shape our reality.
Okay, but wait.
Oh,
There's more. There's one more creature we gotta add to the list.
okay, I'm ready.
And this one might surprise you.
All right, hit me with it.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. In England?
Yeah, the British Bigfoot.
Wow, I never would have guessed.
Yeah, there have been several reports
Really?
of a large, ape-like creature roaming the forest.
Is it like the American Bigfoot?
That's the mystery.
Right.
Is it connected to those sightings or something completely unique to Cannock Chase?
That's a good question.
Is it drawn to the same energies that attract all the other paranormal stuff?
Could be.
Or is it something that's always been there,
Yeah.
like a relic of some unknown species?
That's a fascinating possibility.
Right.
It really is.
Cannock Chase, it just keeps on giving.
It does.
It's like this magnet for the unusual.
Yeah,
It makes you wonder, what is it about this place?
right. Is it the ancient energy,
Yeah,
the varied landscape,
maybe a combination of both?
or something else entirely?
Who knows? We've covered a lot of ground already, but there's still so much more to explore.
Oh, I'm sure.
We've got ghostly apparitions,
Yeah.
unexplained sounds, and even the potential for portals and time slips.
Time slips.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that.
I can't wait.
It's all woven into this tapestry of Cannock Chase's long history. So stick around for the next part of our deep dive, where we'll go even deeper into the mysteries of this incredible place.
I'm ready.
I'll get this one in quick before I get abducted. Join us on X at Penwood Studio. You'll also find our Discord link there. We've got plenty more coming up, plenty of videos, lots to discuss on the Discord. And also, of course, we're releasing some limited edition blockchain collectibles. You'll want in, I'm sure. Join us over on Twitter and on our Discord at Penwood Studio. See you then.
So before we went to, I guess, what you call a break, we were talking about all the weird creatures
Yeah,
in
that.
Cannock Chase.
The Pigman, the Bigfoot, it's like, this place is like a cryptid magnet
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, it almost feels like the ancient energy of the place
Yeah.
is somehow like giving form to these creatures.
That's an interesting way to think about it.
Right, like drawing them to Cannock Chase.
It wouldn't be the first time.
What do you mean?
Well, think about folklore and mythology
Okay.
all over the world, right? There's often this connection
Yeah,
between specific landscapes
Right.
and the creatures that are said to live there.
right. Yeah, like each place has its own like monster or myth.
In the case of Cannock Chase, many monsters, forms, myths.
Exactly. It's like the land itself has this kind of archetypal energy that manifests in these forms.
And Cannock Chase,
Yeah.
with all its history.
all those layers.
In human experience, it just seems like the perfect place for that to happen.
It does, doesn't it? Like a giant canvas for our collective unconscious.
I like that. But
What?
let's move on from creatures for a bit.
Okay, what else is there?
Well, let's talk about the more traditional ghosts.
Ah, the classic ghosts.
Because it's not just, you know, weird creatures haunting this place.
Right. Cannock Chase has its fair share of spectral residents.
Exactly. We got to talk about the horsemen, the soldiers.
The mysterious figures in the trees.
Yeah, it's like the past is literally coming back to life in Cannock Chase.
One of the most frequently reported apparitions is the first Marquess of Anglesey.
Okay, who is that?
He was a prominent figure back in the day,
Okay.
often seen riding through the forest on horseback.
Like a ghostly horseback rider?
Exactly, and he's often accompanied by a pack of ghostly hounds.
Wow, that's kind of fitting, right?
How so?
Given Cannock Chase's history as a hunting ground.
Ah, you're right.
It's like the Marcus is still out there, enjoying his favorite pastime,
Forever reliving his glory days.
but in ghost form.
Right, a haunting echo of the past.
And speaking of echoes,
Yeah.
World War II.
okay, yeah, soldier ghosts are another common sight.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are particularly poignant.
Right. Often seen near the war cemetery and the old encampment sites.
It's like the trauma of war has
Yeah.
left a permanent mark on the land.
It's like the past is coming back to life
Yeah.
in Cannock Chase.
And these soldiers are just trapped there.
Unable to find peace.
Sad thought.
It is, and it's not just soldiers either.
There are more.
There are reports of a gamekeeper,
Okay.
a woman in tattered clothing, a parachutist,
Wow.
even a phantom cyclist.
It's like every era of Cannock Chase's history
Right.
has left its own ghostly imprint.
And if the people reporting are to be believed, the weirdness is just increasing as time goes on.
Yeah.
There's more and more reports. I think you started seeing a lot in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now in particular we're seeing so much about Cannock Chase.
Right.
I mean, there are books on the subject.
Exactly. And to make things even spookier,
Yeah.
there are tons of reports of unexplained sounds.
Yeah.
Like what?
Screams, voices,
Uh-oh.
disembodied footsteps echoing through the trees.
Okay, yeah, that's creepy.
It's enough to send chills down anyone's spine.
You know, it's fascinating how all these different paranormal things seem to converge at Cannock Chase.
Right. Like it's a melting pot of the paranormal.
We've got the cryptids, the ghosts, the UFOs, the black-eyed children.
Don't forget the time slips.
Oh, right. Time slips.
Yeah, I'll get to those later.
It's like this place is a magnet for the unexplained.
What stands out to you from all these accounts?
Well, apart from the fact that Cannock Chase is clearly a paranormal hotspot,
Yeah.
I keep thinking about layers.
Layers.
Yeah, like it's not just one thing.
Uh-huh.
It's like the ancient energy of the place, the residue of all those historical events even, like our own modern anxieties.
Interesting.
It's all combining to create this potent mix of paranormal activity.
I think you're onto something. It's
Yeah.
not just one factor, it's a whole bunch of them.
Right.
All interacting in ways we don't fully understand.
It's like a recipe for the paranormal.
Yeah. It has to be open to interpretation.
And that brings us back to the idea of Cannock Chase as a portal.
Right, that thin place where our world and others might connect.
Exactly, where the veil is weaker.
Okay, so portals.
Yeah.
This is where things get really interesting.
I agree.
If Cannock Chase really is some kind of interdimensional gateway,
Yeah.
it could explain a lot.
Right.
Some wild but possibly plausible theories.
Right, we're talking about an ancient landscape
Okay.
with evidence of rituals going back thousands of years.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got geological formations,
Right.
underground water systems,
Interesting.
mineral deposits.
All things that could create electromagnetic anomalies.
Right, and some people believe those anomalies are connected to portals.
Exactly. It's like the Earth's magnetic field gets disrupted,
Yeah.
creating an opening to other dimensions or realities.
Wow. I mean, I've not looked up, but Could this place be sitting on top of a ley line or a ley line intersection?
Yeah.
Ley lines.
Those invisible energy lines.
Right, I've heard of those.
They're said to crisscross the earth, connecting sacred sites and ancient monuments.
Like energy highways.
That's a good way to put it.
So imagine those lines.
Yeah.
All coming together at Cannock Chase.
Pulsating with energy.
Amplified by like the emotional residue of everything that's happened there.
It's a pretty powerful image.
Yeah.
And here's where things get even weirder.
Weirder than portals.
Well, some researchers think that these electromagnetic anomalies, they can actually create temporal distortion.
Temporal distortion. What does that even mean?
It means bends in time itself.
Wow. It's like wormholes?
Wait, are you talking about time slips?
Yes, actual time travel.
Mind-blowing.
No way.
There are stories from all over the world
Really?
of people experiencing sudden shifts in time.
Like they're just transported to a different era.
Exactly, and some believe those time slips are linked to places with strong electromagnetic anomalies.
So Cannock Chase.
It's possible that it's not just a gateway between dimensions,
Yeah,
but
gotta be the
also a
place.
gateway through time.
That is mind-blowing.
It really is.
Think about those soldier ghosts we talked about.
Yeah, what about them?
What if they're not just like residual hauntings?
Right.
What if they're actual soldiers
Yeah.
pulled through time from
That'd
a
be nuts.
past battle?
It's a chilling thought.
Imagine you're just walking through Cannock Chase
Yeah.
and suddenly you're in the middle of a training exercise.
Or even further back, in the medieval period.
That would totally mess with your
You
head.
hear about these time slips where people are just briefly transported back in time, like a rip in the fabric of time.
It would completely shatter your perception of reality.
It makes you wonder what else might be out there.
Right. Lurking just beyond our perception.
Hidden by the veil of linear time.
John Fowles. Time in itself does not exist. It's always relative to some observer or some object.
It's a fascinating concept.
Yep.
This deep dive has been quite a journey.
It has, hasn't it?
And as crazy as it seems, there's even more to Cannock Chase that we haven't even touched on.
Yeah. We've gone from ghost stories to ancient history to theoretical physics.
And we've only scratched the surface.
I know, right?
Cannock Chase is a place that makes you question everything.
It really does.
It reminds us that there's still so much we don't know
About the universe.
about reality itself.
Cannock Chase is a place of mystery and wonder.
Absolutely.
A place that sparks the imagination and challenges us to keep exploring the unexplained.
If you ever get the chance to visit,
Yeah,
go with an open mind.
and a sense of adventure.
You never know what you might find.
Just remember,
Yeah.
if you see any children with solid black eyes,
Black-eyed children.
yeah, maybe keep your distance.
That's when you leg it.
Good advice.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Cannock Chase.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time.
And thank you for watching that, our very first Unexplained and Folklore Plus Penwood Studio podcast video. In case you were interested, my podcast partners today were AI, which leads us interestingly into our next video. Do we have a Terminator scenario on our hands in the future? Will AI take over? We'll look at that closer next time. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.
Cannock Chase.
Cannock Chase.
Yeah, it's, let me tell you, I got completely tripped up on this one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I really didn't even know where to begin.
I can imagine.
Like, how do you even start to guess how to say this thing right? Cannock, Carnock, and then Cannock.
Right, so it's not so much that, like, Ness is wrong or right. It's just that way of saying it is probably, like, really common in that specific community.
No,
Right.
No, guys, it really, truly is Cannock.
Ness. But it might not be, like, the only way to say it.
Thanks to Ness. I mean, if you saw Cannock Chase written on a map,
How would you say it?
that's the question.